you join me today on the banks of the 20-foot drain. You may remember me doing a video on the 20-foot drain during the winter, talking about targeting the roach and small fish, small fish, big bags of those. And today we're going to be targeting the bigger fish in the drain, hopefully some tench and possibly some bream, maybe an odd rudd. There's lots of drains in the area during the summer months that are pretty good for big fish. The best way of targeting them is to put a bit of bait in the night before and hopefully get here first light and catch a few big fish. These, it's not so much match fishing, it's more pleasure fishing, but you learn a great deal from these sessions for when you do in a match draw an end peg and there's a few bream about and you've got a chance of winning the match. So we're going to talk about feeding, when to feed, what sort of rigs, big baits, those sort of things that will help you get more fish in the net when you are on a fly on your next visit. Because the drains are so clear and full of weed, you know, you've got to be fishing, you've got to be on the bank for 4 o'clock. You get to sort of 9, half 9 and the fish just disappears as if there's no fish in the drain. You need to be up first light. I got here at 3:30, 3:45 this morning, setting up. And then the good thing about it is you can go to work if you start a bit late. So after initial bait up last night, we got here at 4 o'clock this morning. We started off the session with 4 balls of ground bait with a few worms and casters, not too much, just a sort of a continuation of the bait that was fed last night. Just making a nice little target area for the fish to sort of come into and feed and sort of nail them pretty quick. Lots of worms and casters and a bit of corn is how we start the peg off. The ground bait mix I'm using today is the new mainline Sweet Marine and the Pro Active ground bait, mixed 50-50. Because I have put quite a lot of halibut pellets and things in with my pre-bait, I've opted for a sweet fish mealy natural mix, and hopefully we'll catch a few. So we're going to talk about what rigs I've used today. Because we've pre-baited, the fish are confident, we're going to use heavy rigs. The water's probably about 10 foot deep here, 11 foot deep. So we've opted for a 3 gram Colmic Mentapisa. It's a nice thick bristle, so you can have a bit of bristle showing, lay a bit of line on a deck. It's in line as well, and that's tied to 020 main line. And while we're up this end, we've got a green frenzy elastic. I like to use this because it's initially quite soft, so if you are catching bream, it comes out, but then if you do hook a tench, you've got that real sort of power that comes through with this elastic to steer them away from the weed that, you know, it's absolutely choked. You'll see we've got loads and loads of weed that I've raked out here. And then moving down, we've obviously got a bulk there, fishing a double bulk rig. We've got 2 8 droppers. As you can see, we're not messing about with hook size. We've got a big size 13 B711, and that is a brilliant worm hook. Normally you hook fish on that, it don't normally come off. So that's the rigs I'm going to be using today. What you learn the most from these sort of sessions is obviously when there's lots of fish in your peg, when to top up, when not to top up. The key thing is with the bream, you tend to find that you get little runs of fish. So normally on the second or maybe third fish, you're topping up with nice rich balls with worms and fishing everything really dead accurate and tight. Sometimes they're big fish and they come in your peg and you're getting lots of indications. So it's best just to take a shot off your rig and have a little bit more bristle showing so you can read all them indications. With the double bulk rig as well, the lift bites are exaggerated and you hit every bite then. I'm using a bump bar with it between my legs and picking a marker obviously that isn't going to move. Today we've picked the telegraph pole out there as the marker, and you have to be really accurate, lower your rigging nice and slowly, just sometimes to avoid the small fish and get through to the better fish on the bottom. So if you fancy having a go at this Fenland pre-baiting special, just come and see me at Tackle and Baits. I can put you in the right direction. Plenty of venues in the area, not just Goose Tree Corner, 16 foot, 20 foot, 40 foot. There's a host of venues, some old school venues as well, probably blasts from the past that anglers haven't fished for many years. So just come and see me at Tackle and Baits and we'll point you in the right direction. Thank you very much.